Back here with a quick, hopefully quick update for you. It's been a little while since I made one of these video messages, so I thought I'd share this with you. There's a couple things I want to talk about. I'm going to go over two of the modules that are in the course and talk a little bit about the grading portion. So let's get into the modules. I talked about module one, all about becoming a driver. Module two here is really about being comfortable and understanding a lot of the road signs, signals, markings, things like that students may see as they start to drive. All right, most of the signs as an experienced driver we're pretty familiar with. However, a lot of students as new drivers, they get a little bit kind of nervous about this. In the permit test, there's quite a few questions that are usually associated with different signs. So it's a good idea for them to know these. If you go to the Pennsylvania Driver's Manual, which is a digital based document now, they have several pages that talk all about signs. And it's one of those things I think students should really get to know here a little bit. Road markings, things like that, are generally pretty easy. Knowing the difference between a white line separating the lanes of traffic and a yellow line is important, indicating one-way or two-way traffic. A broken line versus a solid line, all those types of things. So that's what this one talks about in here. At the end, there's an assessment. They have to get at least a 12 out of 15 on that assessment. It's pretty straightforward. Module 3 is the single most important module, in my opinion, anyway. It's all about the decision-making process. And being a safe driver is all about making good decisions. And this module talks quite a bit about that. We talk about what we call the IPDE process, or IPDE. It stands for Identify, Predict, Decide, and Execute. And this is the decision-making process that we follow constantly as a driver. If you've been driving for a while, this is something that you do all the time and hopefully in a split second. As a new driver, it's something you might have to actually think about a little bit. So it takes a little bit longer. So to kind of give you a little understanding of this, identify means as I'm driving down the road, I'm searching for any type of hazard that might be either on or off the roadway. The P, predict, I'm predicting what could potentially happen with that hazard. The D for decide is basically, what is my plan? How am I going to attack this situation? And then the E is execute. This is what I physically do with my vehicle. So I might hit the brakes. I might have to swerve, whatever that is. So this is something, again, we do over and over and over again as a driver. As a new driver, though, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. The rest of this is talking all about different things, again, related to making good decisions on the roadway. The assessments out of 12, they need to get at least 10 correct here at the bottom. I'm going to talk a little bit about grading. I am going to start to put zeros in, and I know people freak out when I do this, but I'm going to start to do it. I do it for two reasons. One, it reflects their grade a little bit better. If students haven't done anything in the course at all, then they're going to see that they haven't done anything and their grade becomes a 0. It also can help motivate them to get the work done. They know what work they need to do. The deadline for work being submitted is still November 1st. It's the last day of the marking period. The zeros that I put in, it's going to say missing and give a 0. As soon as that work is submitted, that will change. All right, once the work's graded, it'll change. They don't lose any points or anything like that. The 0 becomes whatever grade they earn. There is no punishment. So when you see a 0 in there, it is not the end all. It just means that that work needs to be done. I think it really helps students see what they need to do. It also maybe gives you an idea that maybe they haven't done as much work as they said they have. So for now, in this introductory work folder, there's several assignments in there. And then for work in module 1, again, there's 4 or 5 assignments, I believe, or grades. You're going to start to see zeros and missing. Hopefully you don't see that. That means that your son or daughter has done the work. But if they haven't done it, that's what you're going to see. As we move on to next week, I'll start to put zeros in this module 2. And then the following week is the last week of the marking period where we'll get through all of these. I'll come back and I'll talk more about the end of the marking period, and I'll talk about this module 4. But I want students to kind of realize that we're getting close to the end of the marking period. Right? We've got about 16 days left. So it's time that students should be at least through module 3, if not module 4. Again, I'll be sending messages to students as well so they understand the same thing. If you have questions, you need anything answered, please shoot me an email. If not, I'll be back hopefully in the next week or so here with a little bit more information for you. Take care.